This girl, we saw her when she was about 10 and a half. She weighed about 26 kilos, which is, I don't know, 50 odd pounds. She was a gymnast, she was an athlete, she was very, very well. And she just started her breast development, and she was going through puberty. Suddenly, they found she stopped growing, her breast development backwards, and her weight started going up. She developed diabetes insipidus, and it all happened practically overnight. And she had this huge lump in her hypothalamus. And in those days, they gave her radiation therapy, they gave her chemotherapy, they tried everything. She's stayed with all her hormone problems for life. And this is what happened to her weight. This is 6 months. She put on about, 40 pounds in 6 months. And it's carried on ever since. She's 140 kilos now. And that was when she was 21, and it's going to carry on going up. The only time she lost weight was here when we admitted her to hospital, and she was an inpatient. And they had to discharge her at this stage because she kept stealing food from other children on the ward and beating them up. So she was quite a thug. And she had behavioural problems as well, and it just got dangerous, so they had to let her go. And then she just carried on putting on weight. The behavioural problems, it's aggression, it's often unprovoked aggression, rage attacks as they call them. One of the parents described her son as a Jekyll and Hyde, so one day he'd be fine and then he'd just suddenly fly off the handle for no apparent reason, go for his mom, and then say sorry half an hour later. No idea why. And there's no treatment really available. Thyroid hormones, could be direct involvement of the thyroid, and there you get the swelling in the front of the neck or in the upper of the chest. Unusual, but needs to be considered. And these children might have a normal thyroid function tests or underactive thyroid at that stage. But it also might be secondary to the pituitary damage. It's very simple to diagnose. You just measure one single blood test, you get the thyroid hormone levels, and you know which one is the problem. You can do a scan, can do a biopsy, and the treatment is thyroid replacement. So to summarize, the hormone problems can occur in up to half the patients with LCH, but this is multi-system LCH. If you have isolated single system LCH, then it's less common. If you don't think about it, you're not going to find it. Except for the diabetes insipidus. You don't have to go around looking for it or watching your child to see if they develop diabetes insipidus. If they do develop it, you'll know. I mean, the change is dramatic. It's most common, and the important thing to remember is if they have got panhypopituitarism, they need to learn to take their medicines regularly. It's not I can't be bothered to take it today. They just have to. The hypothalamic syndrome is difficult, and you need to think about the thyroid. And there's an endocrine study that we're planning, and we can discuss it later over lunchtime. And that's John Pritchard from last year with one of our patients. Thank you.